Okay, I haven't done a video in a while, and I've kind of moved on from some projects. I'm still working on finishing my speeder bike. It is mostly painted, some pieces right now, I'm getting ready to go back together and weathered, and hopefully I'll have a last video on it out soon. But of course, I have to move on to other things. Can't finish something before you start something else. Uh, I was asked to do some. Let's start again. I have done some themed Mandalorian helmets in the past. I'll try to put a picture up over here. I've got an Ohio State Buckeyes themed one and a Cleveland Browns themed one that I've done in the past. Um, since I've done those, I've been asked to do some more. So my son has asked me to do one for his boss that is Bears themed. It's going to be one of these. And then I've got another one for another coworker that's going to be Steelers themed. And as a Cowboys fan, I take offense to that, but that's all right. And then I'm going to probably do a Cowboys themed one for somebody else. Not me, somebody else. I will do a Buckeye themed one for myself. And then there's going to be a little mystery one. There's an actor that I shall not name that if people know me, they know I cannot stand him and will not watch his movies. Mr. Cruz. But anyway, he has done a movie where he flew a jet, I think, in the past. Pretty, I guess it was popular. But it had like his call sign across it. I'm going to try to do another Mando helmet with that theme, putting his call sign info across here and the stuff on the back. And that is a surprise gift for a friend. So this video will not be coming out until after Christmas. So let's, right now I've got one. This was an old helmet I printed a couple of years ago, but never got around to finishing. It was printed on my old printer at like 2.5 0.25 or 0.24 probably layer height. It was huge. It might have even been in 0.3. The print quality was not great. I mean, it's solid. The print itself is fine, but you can see the layer lines are just horrendous. Took well over an hour just to sand the helmet itself. This one was from the same printer around the same time, and it has similar issues. Both of these got coated in, I used wood filler because that's what I had, and it slows smell, and I can use it in my house, and I don't stink up the entire house. So it may not be the best finish, but I'm going to go from that into a primer filler, which will let me get a bit of a smoother finish and fill in any of the any of the last layer lines and stuff that still show through. And once I get primer on it, then it'll really show me where any of the last imperfections are. So I've got this one. This one has been coated and sanded. This one is in the middle of being sanded. As you can see, it got started on the face. Decided I would try to do a little quick video here. So we got started on this one. Got another one off my newer printers. I got a couple of Anycubic printers here in the last year, and these have been coming out really nice. 0.12 layer height and easy peasy sanding. Still enough surface area, it takes almost an hour to do it, but I only have to use 120. I had to start at 80 grit on these old ones. So that's a third one. I have a fourth. And the fifth that still needs sanded. These haven't even been started. They've just been printed. And the printer, we can probably hear in the background here, is printing a third one, or a sixth one in the background. A little printer area over there is going to town. So I am in helmet factory mode. So I am going to get started, get back to sanding on this. I got probably another half hour of sanding to do on this. And then I'm going to try to get some priming done before the night's over. So, all right, let's get to it. Okay, I got another helmet sanded here. This one's sanded. This is the next one to go. I'll leave this one, and I've got one more on the shelf to be have initial sanding done. This, getting it down as far as I did. A lot of that will go away once I get the filler primer on it. But yeah, this takes about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, somewhere in there, to do the helmet, and then probably another hour's worth for all of the little vent pieces and whatnot that go on it. So figure I've still got about 3 more hours of sanding between the other 2 helmets that are left. So keep going. All right, this pile of parts here. These are the earpieces that go on the side of the helmet. And this is the vent that goes in the back. Getting all of those sanded though was about 5 or 6 hours of sanding. So that's been a while. That's parts for 6 helmets. So I've got 2 over there that I've had primed. 1 has initial sanding. 3 more to go, initial sanding, and then hopefully everything gets primed, sanded, and then paint. So more to come. All right, I've got most of the earpieces are all done, or not most of, these are all done. So this is the top and the bottom piece of the Mando helmet earpieces. Those are all sanded to 220. They're going to get another coat, sanded to 320, and then it'll be ready for paint. This is the last of the rear vents that go on the back of the helmet. These are the biggest pain to sand because they've got all of these little tiny nooks and crannies up in there. It's all very irregular. So I'm going to do a quick time lapse of sanding this last one. And then these need to dry because I've been wet sanding, so I don't have to deal with dust in my basement. And so once these are dry, they'll get another coat of primer. The helmets all have, all the helmets have gotten a second coat of primer, and been sanded. This one is the first one, got sanded to 320. I did this one last night. So this is to 320. I'm probably going to hit some of the, if there's any kind of on the back of the helmet here, you can still see that show. I don't know if that shows. But you can kind of see the ridge, the model lines, I guess you want to call it. It's not a perfect circle, of course. It's a series of straight lines. So that may need another coat, and then probably go to 400, and then that'll be ready for paint. And then I'll glue all of this up together. But let's do the time lapse of this last vent piece. Let's go. Okay, got 5 helmets ready to be sanded here. This should be final sanding. I thought I was at final sanding before. I had everything at 400 up to a 400 grit, and I went to do the glue up and basically got glue all over everything. So had to do some trim, had to do some sanding and so forth. So decided to do a final coat once everything was glued up, and then we'll just do a final sand. So hopefully everything should be 400 grit at this point. I shouldn't have to do a whole lot of heavy duty sanding here, except for where I had to get some fill in along the edges. So again, I don't think it'll take too long, but I got to get through 5 helmets. So let's get started. Okay, one down, next one. Two down, next one. Three down, start on the fourth. All right, we're 4 down, last one. Okay, final paint is done on the 2 blue ones. This one's going to get the C for Chicago on it. This one I've started the Maverick logo on there. That just the cloudy part peels off. It came with all these stickers, or it's the rest of the parts that go up here, but they don't conform to the curved surface very well. So I have ordered some pinstriping tape, and I'm going to do it by hand with tape, at least the front part. I don't know how I'm going to do the rear. Let's see if I can grab it real quick. The back is supposed to get this. Now it just kind of curves up, I think this. Everything comes up and around the back. So it might work, but again, as little flexibility as these seem to have, I don't think it's going to conform well. So I'll either have to, again, try to do that by hand with pinstriping tape, or I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have to do those designs with the pinstriping tape. Anywho's this one's the Steelers helmet, and this is going to get its masked off for the yellow stripe down it, and then it'll get a Steelers logo. I'm probably going to run into the same exact problem here, trying to get that to conform to a curved surface. So that'll be fun. Okay, progress report. We've got, forgot to do the reveal, but I got the yellow stripe in for the Steelers one, and there should be a logo printed off here somewhere. Got the smaller logo there on the side. It only gets it on that side, I think. All right, and then the Bengals one, I just kind of free-handed some templates out of tape on another helmet. Came up with what I thought was a decent template, laid them out on here, and then used that vinyl tape to mask everything off, and then get it all ready to go. So that's ready for gloss black. Not an exact copy, but it'll get the point across. So, all right. On to, yeah, I need to go do some paint. Okay, I didn't get it done on doing the reveal on this one. So, this is the Bengals themed one. So I'll get it all masked off. Let's undo the mask. All right. She's not perfect. Got a couple of little bleed through marks there. One back here. A couple more here. And I managed to peel the orange all the way off to the gray. So I may go through, try to do some touch up with an actual paintbrush and some orange, since it's going to get hit with clear coat eventually. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Clearly Bengals anyway. So, all right, that's 2 down. All right, trying to get these helmets finished up here. And I've got, I do a little, for the center pad and the inside of the helmet, I usually try to do a customized. I can see that in there. There we go. Got the little bear head in there for the center pad on that one. And the Steelers symbol on a little pad in there on this one. Okay. I had made a B for the Bengals one, but it's bigger than I thought. It doesn't go into the helmet very well. It really kind of warps it to get it to go. And so I printed off a smaller one. The other problem with this one was I thought the paint would cover up previous Sharpie mark on this, and these layer lines continue, or not layer lines, those Sharpie lines continue to show through after a layer of white and at least 3, if not 4 layers of orange with a layer of PVA glue in between. At least one of those. And it still just keeps showing through. So we're just gonna throw that one in the trash. Got a new smaller one. I'm gonna get this cut out and then get it cut out of a piece of EVA foam. And then there's a Top Gun one here that I'm gonna do for the Mandalorian Maverick Top Gun themed helmet, and that'll go inside the other one. Again, I had this one ready to go, but that was kind of too small. So the B was too big, the Top Gun was too small, so we fixed those. I'm going to get these cut out and then carved out of the EVA and then painted. So let's get started. All right, got the two pieces of EVA cut out. They have been sanded on the back to get rid of the texture. These are the pieces that I use inside for like the internal pads. These are painted for the Steelers helmet. Yellow pads will go in there. And then I've got these red ones for in the Bears helmet. I have started putting those in with double-sided tape. I'm just going to use carpet tape. It holds really well. And then so I just stick these to it, trim it out, and then use that to put inside the helmet. So it's kind of like got a sticky already built in at that point. So works pretty good so far. I need to get a base coat on these. Where are my brushes? There's the brush. Do a base coat of white on this, and then a base coat of black on the Top Gun one. The orange just does not cover very well. So I found that both the orange and the red, that if you do a base coat of white first, it really helps it to cover the black color of the EVA up and give it a good start for creating. Once you add color, it just covers a lot better. It was taking 3 and sometimes 4 coats to go when you just went straight to color. Whereas this, with covering it with white first, even yellow over black, I can get away with 2 coats of paint. 1 white, 1 yellow. Okay, I think we're going to call that good for now. Let that dry. Let it dry. The black. For this one, grab foam brush. I do this with a foam brush because I forgot to bring down water to clean my brushes. So as soon as this is painted, I will go clean some brushes. On over there, and let's go rinse some brushes. Okay, I'm going to get these 2 helmets done because they go to a specific person. These, the Bears and the Steelers one go to, they're for friends of my son. So I'm going to get those put together first because they're getting delivered today. So we've got to get sticky stuff added to the pads. Both of those already have the center pad in, so all I have to add is the other pads. All right, once that's done, let's do the others. Do those off screen. All right, time to put some visors in. These are welding visors that I have gotten from Amazon. Try to put a link in the description. Got a nice film over them to protect them while they're getting cut. These two are already peeled. All right, and I am going to be using UV resin to put these in. So, I've got a UV light for curing it. Go in. Okay, should have these in. Always put more around the edge if I need it. That should be cured enough. Boom. And there we have it. Nice black, dark. So, all right, that's ready for the rest of the pads. It's hard to see up in there. It's flat black up on the inside. That's got the liner in there. I may add some more UV resin, but then I will just put the rest of the center pad for this is still getting done. That's the one that I cut out earlier, but I can go ahead and get these put in. Okay, here. Okay. That can be seen. Can you see it up in there? I've got the pads all the way around on the inside now. And then that Top Gun one will go right in the dead center, just like these others. So let me get the other visors in and we should be just about done. All right, helmets are basically done. All four visors are now in, and the pads are in, all of them except for these two, which are still waiting for the crown pads. We've got the triangular one that goes in here. The B, I think, hit the floor, but it still needs to be painted. Those still have to be painted, but otherwise their pads are in. So we've got orange pads in the Bengals one. Got the dark red in the Maverick one. Oh, there's the B. So that B will go up in that center spot, kind of up in there. We've got the Steelers with the yellow pads, and the Bears with the red pads. So, all right, we've got all four of them done. It's been a busy couple of weeks to try to get these finished. Um, but I'm glad to have them finished. So, all right, I think that'll give us a wrap then on the helmets. I don't know if you can kind of see behind me. Hopefully, the speeder bike final one video will be coming shortly.